Game on, ladies and gentlemen! Division 7 time! And this is a special series, I already can tell you that much. I've seen things, I've glanced at a few of the team compositions, and whoo! It gets spicy in this series. Right now on the left side on our first map in the best of 3 we have the Z team. And they go up against Ashley's Lamb Special, so apparently we have a bunch of chefs on the right side. The red team rocking it hard here. Before we're going into what Division 7 is and what you're watching, let's check out the players first. We have Lebo on Johanna, Daomega on Thrall, Shadow Surge on Reyna, Karim Del on Rega, and Beso on Li Ming. Yeah, and on the right side, it's Glidanieth on Zagara, Chef Remiel on Uther, Marcus Flint on Junkrat, Omega Kim on Diva, and Crystal Crom on Gul'dan. Alrighty, so we actually have already a Zagara in play, and, well, as we're heading into this, Division 7, as I oftentimes say, is the lowest league in Heroes Launch. Heroes Launch is an amateur series, an amateur league. Everybody can participate in it, so if you're actually interested in playing on a more competitive lineup, doesn't matter if you're a bronze player, doesn't matter if you're a grandmaster player, you can do that. Head over to heroeslaunch.gg and check them out. They are absolutely amazing. It's a great community and it's Heroes of the Storm playing it with like-minded people as it's supposed to be. But this is the lowest league. This is players that range from bronze to gold usually on average, and therefore we're going to see some wild compositions, we're going to see some wild choices, and it is going to become pretty ridiculous as usual. So we're going to rip a little bit in the players, we're going to talk about what could be done better, and as always, if you feel the need to be offended on someone else's behalf, then first of all, you're kind of on the wrong channel here, and second of all the people here are absolutely on board with that. As I say every single time, no other division sends me as many replays and cast requests as Division 7 because they want exactly that kind of experience here and because they say it helps them a lot to actually improve their play. Now that we have that out of the way, there's something else that we have to talk about, a little bit of housekeeping. Oh, and yeah,
First blood.
There we go, perfect cue for that, soundboard is live, and let's jump. So, the last few videos, we had actually a couple of soundboard clips in here, and there was a lot of feedback on YouTube. A lot of people love it, a lot of people didn't like it all that much. But just in general, guys, I have to point it out again. It's something new. It's a new tool. I'm trying it out. I'm probably going a little bit overboard with it in the first few games, but I'm still trying to find the perfect middle ground. What we're probably going to end up with is using it a bit more in Division 7, a little bit more in Division 6, and the higher level of play we'll probably either not use it at all or only in very, very rare situations. So yeah, gonna try and find a good balance. Probably gonna take me like a week or two to find something that I'm happy with, but until then, just bear with me, have a little bit of patience and check it out. But now that we have all of that behind us, we are on level 4, we are on Battlefield of Eternity, and we have for Zagara, come on baby, serrated spines all the way, let me get these stacks. I know it's not an ARAM, but I want, ooh. Also, talking about a charged blast after force armor. Alright. No orb bullshit in this game. No. We're going full on missiles here, apparently. Magic missiles in level 4 is something that we've seen a lot in the higher League of Play too. Maka, for example, has already deviated away from dominance a long time ago. And gone straight into this. And Diva! Look at that! That's a hit, and Beso is all of a sudden down to just a few HP. That's actually nicely done. We need to rotate into the middle now to start with the objective, but hey, that was a really good start into that. On the other hand, of course, you don't have the nuke available to yourself now. Zagara has still not made a choice on level 4. That in and of itself is a little bit worrisome, but she has good vision around your opponent, or their own immortal, since she was there pretty early with the creep. Now, on the other hand, we have Rega that can help with the lightning shield to quickly detect those creep tumors and take them down. But the two teams are going straight in on the action here. Both are going for a bit of a race. It's a halftime show that is nearly identical in hit points on the Immortal. And it's time to shine, apparently. Thrall also going on the side lane into the Echo of Elements, sitting at 16 stacks. That isn't too bad either. Zagara, indeed, with the auto attack talent. It's going to be interesting to see if she follows up on it later with her level 16 choice. And also what heroic ability we're going to get. And we were talking a lot about ARAMs lately, and we had obviously the ARAM tournament. And as counterintuitive as it might seem, in ARAMs it's all about Nidus. It is just the perfect tool, way better than more, because you have continuous health fountain on the map, can always get your mana pool and your hit point pool top back up. But in an actual game, ARAM is usually not... sorry, not ARAM. Nidus is usually not your top choice. It's usually more so about the Maw and what you can pull off with the team. And when I look at this lineup, I gotta admit, I would pay to see a more into a D.Va bomb. That would probably be ridiculously awesome. But I wouldn't put it past them to actually go into something along the lines of Nidus and try and play a macro card in this game. They could try and do that. Zagara at the bottom of the map has, by the way, nearly fallen as Omega went straight in for the kill. Couldn't quite get it. And thanks to the fountain, Zagara has topped up. First Immortal has come and gone. Didn't really do a whole lot. I mean, seriously, didn't really do anything here. The red team is the only one with 2 kills, and damn, the rotation to the bottom of the map immediately got the kill over here. So, yep, that's Jimmy coming in with a flank, and Zagara did not see that one coming. So, the little buck gets squashed and goes down. But now we have topside, a bit of a push thanks to the camp that they were just taking a second ago. Even Li Ming rotated down, so all of a sudden it's like 3 heroes trying to burst through the wall here with only 2 defending topside, and that could be a problem. I mean, D.Va is already rushing in. We have this D.Va Uther front line, so to say. It's pretty much a triple damage backline, which you really shouldn't take. If we are talking about normal team compositions and you're trying to build something stable during the draft, then make sure that you go for 2 melees, have a second melee present, because even if you're going for a side laner that is ranged, you want in the late game a second hero at the front line together with your tank to draw some of the attention and shield the back line. Good example would be Phoenix in the past, who has been used as a side laner. Has everything that a side laner needs. Nice! Kill against Thrall, and we have actually Uther going down too, and this could be one as well, and there we go. Amazing kill by Zagara, even survives through all of that with like 16 hit points. It's a triple kill as they make it through the map. 5 kills against 1 now. Topside though, Uther goes down as Li Ming comes in for the damage and drops immediately. Nicely done. But yeah, this game is getting wild already. In comes Jojo. Jojo comes in with the condemn, sees that nobody else is there, is like, maybe I should back off here. And moves back immediately. But yeah, so now an early start onto the objective, but you look at experience and you realize quickly that level 10 is around the corner for Ashley's Lamb special. And so a few chefs here on the red team side could now really start to use those heroic abilities to absolutely force a team fight and obliterate their opponent. They should. And someone should actually soak that level 10. Because right now, they don't really seem to care, and I am a little bit confused, because, boys, if you have your heroics, you basically rule this. Just walk down, get the experience globes, and you're good to go. What are you doing, girl? There's the level 10, finally. Tickle experience is gonna give them that. Now the attempt at a fight. More is indeed chosen. Rocket right! Nope. 0 value. And another 0 value move. Oh, Rocket Ride is always one for the memes, but in this case doesn't connect with anything, and the mod didn't either, so they could maybe combo the 2 of them, but if they don't hit anything, then, well, I can't help them. So now we have Johanna already taken down, but yeah, I mean, the talents are a little bit of a meme fiesta here. Not going into the Riptire is, of course, on Junkrat a bit of a weird move. That was close too! I really thought he would die to this one. But it would have been absolutely fantastic. Yeah, you never want to die to the Immortal, especially not if anybody else is looking. All the circles. You gotta dodge the circles, baby. Nearly got body blocked into one. But they're good to go. But it's a race again. It's 10 versus 10 now, and up at the top they're fighting over it too. Johanna came in to try and delay it a little bit, and honestly that might just have been enough. Comes in again, and the blue team actually managed it. Nicely done by Johanna, the thought that counts here, and she's able to delay the objective long enough for her own team to grab it. So the second Immortal for the team in blue now. Z team, I don't even know if there stands for Zorro or if it's just like the counterpart to the A team. The A team is all the way up at the front, and then they went all the way down the alphabet and said like, okay, we're pretty much the opposite of the A team. Let's go for that. Big push already with the Hyperion coming in, so everybody gets zoned out over here. And that should actually result in the fort being taken out if they heavily push. But Jojo doesn't even go in for this one. Could have tried to take that minion wave down a little bit quicker. Thrall is bot side, so they need to be careful since they are only here with 4 heroes. But it's a 4 versus 4 now since Zagara hasn't joined yet. Rocket right, baby! And again, no hit. But Li Ming, she's cleaning house. There's at least a hit with the Maw over here. Question is if somebody's gonna follow up on that. The fear against the doggy is nearly his doom, but Zagara, for some reason, isn't able to really capitalize on that. So now they're starting to move in again. Zagara on the run. Li Ming also realizing that she went a little bit too deep and is trying to escape here. Rhaegar helps out. Shadow Surge on his Jimmy, nearly dying to the damage over time. But he's ready. Johanna dies in the meantime. Thrall is still pushing bot lane. 8 kills against 4 right now. And this game is just all over the place. We have 32 stacks now for Gul'dan, 26 for Zagara on the serrated spines on level 4. But yeah, they are just everywhere. And they're all ignoring Thrall. I mean, Thrall is sitting bot side and is just doing his thing. Yeah, turns around and also finally puts the final hit in on the fort. But now it's time to run away from this one. Junkrat, no combo. Could have gone a... Why? If you had the Mind Cooldown ready, why didn't you just push him back in? There's the Earthquake and...
No!
Yeah, that didn't... Oh, the trade kill against Rhaegar and against Thrall. Absolutely fantastic. It was a bait all along.
Surprise, motherfucker.
Didn't see that coming. Talking about leaving heroes alone on the lane, the exact same thing happens at the top lane right now, where Lamb Special starts to push in aggressively with Zagara. Finally, Johanna takes care of that, but it also means that they are abandoning the bottom of the map where another fort falls. Again, as I said, the game is all over the place. We are at the top, we are at the bottom, we are hunting bugs, we're going for quick kills against orcs. Rhaegar falls, Thrall falls, bombs away, rocket ride. This game has everything. And yeah, with Calamity and Li Ming now also heading in the Illusionist, we have level 13 talents ready for the two of them. So once more, it is a race on the Immortal. And let's see if this time they can actually win it. And with them, I mean the red team. Yeah, the dirty trickster over here. That gave him some value. Also, Zagara, Juke Master 2000. Thrall goes in, wants the kill, and quickly realizes that he might have gone a little bit too deep here. He's not the only one, by the way. At the bottom of the map, the same thing is also happening. Ancestral is keeping Jimmy alive. Up to the top. Thrall still fighting. Diva down, and Thrall gets away as the bottom fight might yield a victim. Gul'dan gets eliminated, but is still able to grab at least the final stacks. Yeah, and with this, they're jumping straight in onto the objective. So once again, the blue team seems likely to walk away with another Immortal. They might lose the team fights. They might be behind in kills. But they're doing pretty well when it comes to the objective itself. And in the long run, that's going to win. Okay, there we go. There we go. Killing. Didn't quite work out the way that they wanted, but Usa came in and got the kill anyways. So Rhaegar is dead. They pretty much put everything on him. They put the Maw, the Rocket Ride, and the Divine Storm onto Rhaegar. And yeah, that was pretty much that for him. The little doggy a little bit overwhelmed with all the attention. And then he falls too. So now 42 stacks for Zagara. She's getting there with the damage output. Thrall gets into the Earthquake. Blessed Shield is being used. They want to go for the triple. And there it is. The explosion comes through. Jimmy down. Li Ming is down. Junkrat has also fallen. They're trying to focus their attention now over to Uther. Thrall. And yes, Thrall is the one to bite the dust here. Johanna still trying to protect, but with level 16 talents now in the hands of Ashley's Lamb Special. They are looking good here. Coming in again to drop the final few hit points, but at the top it seems like the blue team might again just barely be able to take it. Karimdel, one more bite, and he doesn't get it. Denied. Nice. Full 5-man team wipe as they are able to grab their own Immortal. That deserves a round of applause. So yeah, congratulations to Lamb Special. Able to get the first Immortal here. That's something. 13 minutes in, it took them a while, but hey, congratulations. That was an effort well worth it. Especially with all the effort that they needed to put in to protect their own Immortal at the same time. So with that said, here comes the Jack Barbs now, and if Zagara is able to spread her creep properly, that means a lot of ouch. She's gonna do a lot of work. 31,000 damage for her so far. It's looking pretty solid with that. 40,000. Oh! Rocket Ride? Nope.
Nope.
Still not happening. Still zero value out of the talent. We have a Junkrat that does 24,000 damage. So if you set it up with a stun, then maybe you might be able to get something done here. But let's just be honest, Riptire is so much better as an heroic ability. The meme factor is, of course, unbeatable. I grant them that. The meme factor... Oh, there! Where's the rocket right now? Get the damage in, the stun! Yes! There we go. Full on 6 City as they are getting the double kill. No chance to even drop that Ancestral. Nicely done. That's the moment you need the rocket ride, and they didn't have it. But now they can at least get the keep, take that one down, maybe move away now. They have a massive lead, more than double the kills of the opponent. Looking good here. Looking absolutely fantastic. Talents, a lot of normal builds actually, I gotta admit, especially when you're looking over to Jimmy. Totally traditional build from him, no deviation away from it. Thrall, generally speaking, very much on point as well, with the only exception of the Tempest Fury. Not really the best talent. At this point you really want to go into Thunderstrike on level 16 if you don't have a massive tank on the other side that would more so lean towards going into an Alpha Wolf setup. But yeah, a lot of really decent builds here. I mean, look at Rega, for example. Also a super traditional build on his part, going into the Earthquest Totem synergy with the level 1 talent. So yeah, a lot of good setups that we have from both teams here, actually. A couple of deviations away from it, for sure. But all in all, for Division 7, I gotta say that this is pretty much on point when it comes to builds. When it comes to rotations, a bit of a different question, and I talked about the team composition of the red team earlier. That Horrifier also didn't really land, so on the mechanical side nothing has really changed. But Thrall is still staying around a little bit too long, receives the Ancestral. That was absolutely spot on. He might still fall. Another stun, not connecting with him though, and they're starting to move in. There's the kill already against the mech. They're trying to get a little bit more. Gul'dan is down, and again, Rocket Ride with zero value whatsoever. That talent just doesn't do anything for him. So the entire time, Junkrat is just like flying around, jumping around, doing his thing, but he's looking at 29,000 damage. That's only 5,000 more than Uther. Think about that just for a second. Those rocket rides, not really the choice. Riptire, 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 Riptire. I gotta repeat myself here. It is really what you want to go for. At least he's able to jump out here. That would have been a fantastic kill for the blue team if they could have made that happen. But with 3 heroes dead on the red team, it's again the blue team trying to get the Immortal. Which is actually impressive considering that they are behind so heavily in experience and don't... I mean, they have a Storm talent disadvantage right now, which in and of itself is already crazy. So those kills came at the perfect moment in time, and it's going to net them another Immortal. Seems like Zagara is a bug on a mission, trying to go through the bot lane now and see if she can maybe set something up here. Keep in mind, she does not have Nidus. So if they actually rotate down, she is going to fall. But with an Immortal 17 minutes into the game, really? All that effort for that? I mean, they are rotating, I grant her that, but it seems like a bit of could have rather taken a camp or something, I don't know. Okay, so with that said now, we have level 20 talents on one side, half a level away from 20 for the blue team, but they could push with the Immortal now. I'm a little bit surprised that they don't go there at all. I mean, you always have to be aware of a potential flank because your opponent is looking for the fight, obviously. But they're not doing anything with this, and them not moving in whatsoever is a little bit weird because that allows the red team to defend against this without any interference. Now, the idea is obviously to set up a set and a second heat point up at the top and push through that, but they already lost a lot of time in that rotation. They at least get level 20 with it, but let's see if it's enough to get the fort down. And I don't think it should be, but the red team should have rotated a little bit quicker than that, and they didn't, so now they get the keep after all if they really want it. But that, it should never have gone to that point. Johanna might actually be stunned out a little bit. Okay, goes into the Iron Skin and walks away from this, just as we have Uther trying to come in for the stun. 11 kills against 19 now. And yeah, they haven't gotten the keep either. Honestly, at this point, it would even make sense for someone to YOLO in and just say, like, whatever, I'm gonna take it right now, or stay behind and try to escape here. Maybe Li Ming with another combo, something along those lines, but they didn't do that. But the fault is to an extent with the red team in the first place. They should have not wait. Like, oftentimes you can just leave the Immortal a little bit, 10% HP or so, waiting away at the keep and then rotate to the top a little bit earlier. The keep at the bot lane isn't falling, but it would of course have taken more damage. But then you would now look at 2 keeps that still have solid hit points to survive a small gank attempt. And that's something that is now in the cards for the blue team, which didn't really need be. Yeah, so Junkrat, again, I mean, he's trailing heavily behind. That Rocket Ride choice didn't do him or the team any favors. When you look at the damage output, it's Gul'dan and Li Ming that currently really fight for superiority here. And this, yeah, now all starting to move in again, moving slowly towards the top. This is only game 1 of the best of 3 series. A little bit of hiding already. And there's a really good chance that the next Immortal is actually going to decide the game. I mean, we're 20 minutes into this on Battlefield of Eternity. We have 1 keep annihilated on the bottom left of the map. So a small advantage in structures for Ashley Slam special. And he has the flank! The more catches Li Ming, that's at least something. And, yep. Finally a little bit of damage. Oh, the stun! Uther goes down, so does Zagara, so does Diva. And yeah, that's 3 heroes down, and that, ladies and gentlemen, should be game. It is Division 7, so we're not sure. Please don't go for the Immortal. Please don't go for the Immortal. Please don't go for the Immortal. No! Nine, 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 nine. Thank you. And going towards the top, they realized it too. They immediately started to move in on the objective, and I was just like, no, don't do it. Whatever you do, just go for the core. Please go for the core. And that's what they had at. So obviously with 4 heroes eliminated, there's just no chance. Junkrat with the ingenious tactic to backdoor by himself against the core. Yeah, I mean, seems like it's not really working out for him.
Nope.
But on the right side of the map, the 4-man, the 5-man approach is actually working as planned. So that's game number 1 in the hands of the Z team. GG and well played. Game number 2, ladies! Yeah, Junkrat's solo moment was not crowned by glory. Instead, we had him die a painful death. And now we're heading into game number 2, and all the memes are unfolding right here. I mean, just look at these lineups. On the left side, Lebon ETC, Omega and Kelthas. So far, so good. Shadow Surge and Sonya, that's a little bit out there, but again, on this map, not really the worst pick. Bezo and Sylvanas, and then it starts with Karim, Del, and Lucio. And that already in and of itself is a little bit... He wants to lull around. You can understand that there's only Lul Nara or Lulcio if you really want to go full on Lul. And on the right side, then Marcus on Flint. Marcus Flint on Deckard, sorry, a little bit too much here. Glidanieth on Nazeebo, Chef Rimiel on Gazlord, Crystal Chrome on Ragnaros, and Omega Kim on Blaze. So, yeah. It's a wild one. Honestly, I am a little bit wondering for myself if they at any point listened to the stream here and heard about the strategy that I explained about it back in the old HGC days, when you had Nazeebo on this map comboed with Ragnaros. The rest of the lineup is, I mean, let's call it a little bit nuts and out there, but generally speaking, if you pair Ragnaros with Nazeebo, you have a better chance of actually getting the Witch Doctor into the late game and bringing to the Vile Infection. Because with the trait on Nazeebo, you can, the trait on Ragnaros, you can actually the entire time with the Molten Core defend against your opponent's objective. So you pretty much give up the objectives in the early game and you just realize that your opponent is going to grab them. You don't use the Molten Core to try and grab the objective, but you just wait and then you use it once that the Punisher approaches your fort, and that's how you defend. You prolong the game, and because you prolong the game, Nazeebo can hit his power spike in the later stages, and that's pretty much the idea here. What that doesn't explain is why they would still then add GazLOL to the mix and play that with the setup that they're playing right now. Also doesn't explain why we're seeing Convection here, because he will in for all the memes right now. This is not a talent that you want to see usually. So there's fingers crossed for Kelthas. What is it with mean names today? For Kelthas, that he can actually complete his quest, but against this lineup, might not be too easy, especially if Deckard K knows what he's doing and locks him down at some point. Either way, as it stands, we're currently looking at top lane with Ragnaros and Sonya. We're in the middle of the map, the main action happening right now. And yeah, let's see what Ragnaros and especially GazLOL can do here. The clown is in the house, and he's trying to clown around a little bit. I mean, it's honestly a bit impressive if you think about it. They went into the last game with Rocket Ride and other shenanigans, and after they lost the game, instead of saying, guys, we have to buckle down a little bit. Let's go for your best hero. They just said, let's go and just meme this shit completely. And I don't know, but... Well, maybe they are the best heroes. There's obviously always that option. I hope that's not the case, but I mean, the possibility is there. So, with that, we have for Nazeebo, actually. Thing of the Deep taken on level 1. It's interesting to see that. Spider build is still quite popular. Thing of the Deep was obviously heavily overbuffed by Blizzard. And I commented on that the first time that we actually saw it in action. Giving the talent that already makes you safe an additional 20% spell power was obviously straight up stupid. And Blizzard in the patch after that immediately said like, yeah, we toned it back a little bit, it's now only 10%, maybe we went a little bit overboard. Oh, no shit, Sherlock, maybe 20% on the talent that makes you safer was a little bit OP. Yeah, I think that is a fair bet, so yeah. Well done. But now that it's finally restored a little bit to the 10%, you can still get good value out of it, and you're safer. So Nazeebo is on the spot where he's already looking at 50 stacks, and that of course goes well with this big voodoo. So he's also going to work on his mana pool here. But here we go. People are starting to move in. That's fantastic for Khaldor, who obviously wants them to clump up here. And in the middle of the map, Sonya's trying to push this in and maybe hurt that wall. ETC with the slide. There's another 3 stacks for Khaldor as he connects the Flame Strike. And there we go. Nice camp at the top lane also. Set up perfectly by the blue team to do a little bit more damage towards the top. Very nicely done, actually. And now they're starting to move in again. But at the same time, we have also some damage done against Lucio in particular. And he's not the only one. Sonya's also a little bit low. And there's immediately the first one as Blaze goes down. And actually they go for a different strategy. Baby Ragnaros already going straight in. The kill against Deckard Cain. But they still grab the Arcane Punisher. They were slightly ahead, and thanks to the Molten Core, they actually grab it. 7 against 7. 2 kills advantage. And again! Learn to bait these Punishers over the wall for God. Ah! In the name of the god that I don't believe in, please learn map objectives. It's a sad day. Yeah. I'm not gonna go over my usual rant about the Punisher and how you bait it over. I think the last 5, 6, 7, 8 videos that I uploaded are probably more than enough to explain that to everybody that is interested in it. And yeah, I apologize last time already for explaining it again, so let's just drop it this time. Enough said that I really feel that we need, people need to learn that. It's driving me insane. Yeah, another thing that's currently insane is that Khaldor hasn't died yet. He's on 12 stacks. I mean, even if you complete Convection, it's usually the better option to go into Mana Addict because you're safe in the late game. Right now, though, he still has hopes that he has massive damage outputs. That's what he is currently waiting for. And, well, let's go. Up towards the top. 67 stacks by now for Nazeebo in the middle of the map. A little bit of a fight here as he's trying to get away. Sonya comes in, connects the spear, and they might just get the kill, and indeed they do. Blaze goes down. That's kill number 4 for the blue team. Nicely done, and with the help of Sylvanas, they immediately start to pressure. They immediately start to move in, start to take the wall down. Sylvanas disables whatever she can. ETC is zoning at the front. Another mini-wave pushes in, and at the same time Sonya has taken control over the top lane and gives them level 10. Mosh Pit comes through. Lucio with a sound barrier. Ragnaros also on the way now topside again to defend all of this if he then so can. And Khaldor, don't do it, my friend. Don't go Pyroblast. I beg you. I beg you. Convection was enough. We don't need Pyroblast for this one. Go into... No! No, that's not the talent. That is not the talent. Oh, Pyroblast value about to be activated again. No, I'm just kidding. He's not going to get any real value out of it. Okay, so we have Gary the Gargantuan. We have actually Sulfura Smash for Ragnaros. I was half expecting the Lava Wave. And, well, if the idea is to get Nazeebo into the late game, Lava Wave isn't the worst idea in the world. But, of course, if you can coordinate a little bit, then Sulfura Smash is just always the better option because you have the tools to get quick and easy kills in there. But yeah, let's actually see what's going to happen around Khaldor, not only because of his level 1 talent, he's still sitting at 13 stacks, but also because I'm curious to see what's happening with Pyroblast here. Already we have level 10 waiting for for Blaze. I mean, Blaze, he has Pyroblast. You can literally deny that by picking Bunker. And you guys don't... Thank you very much. Bunker is actually an absolute necessity here. First of all, Bunker is obviously the choice on any kind of coordinated play, no matter where it is. Also the reason why the talent is exclusively played on the higher levels. But if you're going up against something like Pyroblast, you definitely want to make sure that you have Bunker in your arsenal too, not only to save your own ass, but also to save anybody else that gets targeted by it. If you can just communicate that properly. This time both teams take the top Shaman camp, so that's already a huge improvement for Lamb Special. You have the attack against Blaze. Oh, the mosh pit interrupting. The combo! What the fuck? They actually get it full on. Holy shit. Full on Gazlord combat. They get 3 kills out of that. And here's the Pyroblast and it finds value. What is happening here? Gazlord dominates the team fight with a wombo combo, takes them down after we have the initial kill against Blaze, who wasn't able to drop the bunker because he got moshed. Then the interrupt by Ragnaros, the quick Gazlord ult combo with the stun, and then even Pyroblast gets value. It's opposite day. 17 stacks now for Khaldor, and they are gonna grab another Punisher here, don't they? What a setup! Damn, that was incredible. So yeah, there we go. At this point, 6 kills against 3, but those 3 kills for the red team, they really made all the difference. There's level 13 talents in the hands of the blue team, and I still would push through here. They should still try and push this. Oh my god, they're not really baiting it over, don't they? Yes, they are! Woo! Nicely done! Applause, applause. The bait over the wall, I'm impressed. Well done here, so yeah. Counter me appeased a little bit, so that was a good one. So they bait him finally over the wall, so we see a little bit of progress here. Then again, here comes the flank as Nazeebo comes in. They go for Khaldor. Can they get the kill? And he goes down!
Surprise, motherfucker.
Khaldor dies, loses all of his stacks. The Nazeebo flank, something that he didn't see coming. Ragnaros gets a solo kill against Sonya top lane. All of a sudden, the entire game spirals out of control for the blue team. And the red team is going bonkers here. 17 stacks on the Fire Mage, and then he gets dropped by Nazeebo, who flanks in from the side, drops the zombie wall. An easy peasy one right there. And boy, that was awesome. And then the solo kill top side, just to put the cherry on top of the cake. Yeah, they got the fort in the middle. They're gonna get the fort at the bottom now, of course, too. Nazeebo sitting at 116 stacks already, 15 levels into the game. This is not looking good for the blue team. They were off to a really good start here, but at this point, it is starting to be really, really tricky. Ice block is in. Stacks are coming for not only Nazeebo, but we also have, well, we have a couple more for the quest talents on especially Ragnaros, but Khaldor has to start all the way up at the beginning again. And yeah, it's a bit of a shame. It's all about Mana Addict. Even if you complete Convection, Mana Addict just gives you survivability in the late game that you oh so desperately need. And, well, let's see. Damage output, by the way. 20,000 for Nazeebo, so our boy is rocking. Still, the setup and all the credit, or a lot of the credit, goes over to GazLOL for the combo earlier. Talking GazLOL, he's sitting topside with baby Ragnaros, and it seems like at least a little Raggy is gonna go down here. Yeah, he's getting wrecked, tries to save himself a little bit, but can't. And they're going straight in for Khaldor. The Junkrats... Junkrat is actually not in the game here. I don't know what's happening with me today. Names are weird. I'm not drunk, I promise. Okay, Khaldor actually seems like he might survive. The combo again! Ah, but it doesn't hit anything. And the Pyroblast, 0 value on it, because Blaze knows how to use the bunker. The problem is that they were still incredibly low on hit points in the first place, so 1 down, Sylvanas is also fallen, Blaze is dead, GazLOL still running away, nearly no HP for him. Somehow Khaldor is still alive, God knows how, and they're still trying to get him here. Karindel comes in, gets the boob out, the old man, hit him with a stick, hit him with a stick, hit him with a stick, no! Oh, Deckard, Kane, run baby, run! Not happening. Nazeebo actually gets caught there at the top, and the old man is still on the move. and is actually able to get out, not connected by the power slide on ETC. Gets another lockdown in against Khaldor. The fight is not over. No, this baby is still running. Yeah, Sonya, she wants all the fun, doesn't she? Goes in for the spin to win. Might have gone in a little bit too deep, and that's the end as the old man goes straight in for the revenge. Yep. There we go. In the meantime, the bot lane has been pressured as well. Obviously, they're going to take care of it soon. I think Sylvanas is already on the way, and indeed she is. But damn, this game has everything right now. Oh, God. Up at the top. You gotta give some credit to Khaldor when it comes to the build. I mean, first of all, I have no clue how he survived the last one. Let's be honest here. Like, he had like no hit points throughout the entire fight. But also on top of this, it's a full Flame Strike build right now for him. And the build actually outside of the level 1 talent makes perfect sense. It's a really solid one. Having the Living Bombs on level 13 for the cooldown reduction is absolutely in route with the rest of the build. GazLOL is now working on the next Punisher. And the blue team has decided to push at the bot lane. And I love this this reaction on the red team side. Instead of being baited into a dummy move, like trying to move to the bottom of the map to defend, they just push keep. They're just saying, alright guys, you go for our fort, we go for our keep. That's a trade that we're totally happy to take, especially since we just claimed the Mortar Punisher at the top lane. So if we only open the wall up, that will make our chances to go for the keep itself even higher. So that's exactly what you need to do. Starting to move in. Little bit of damage. Nazeebo gets some spiders onto the point, but here comes the Punisher. And you need to be careful now. That arrow of Sylvanas was a little bit too early. Khaldor! No! Be careful, bro. You shouldn't really be at the front. You have 5 stacks on your convection. I mean, chances of you completing the talent of this game at this point are pretty slim, but hey, hope dies last, right? So, in this case, another big jump. They're trying to get the damage in. 153 stacks now for Nazeebo. Yeah, the keep is gonna fall. 100%. You can't save that one. Keep is definitely down. And then all they have to do is just move back. Oh, yeah, I forgot about Ragnaros. Get wrecked, baby! Oh, the ult save from Lucio. Key comes in. I'm a real boy. Helps out with the ult. Quickly gets the shield in play, and that allows Sylvanas to move away with the wave. Nicely done. Khaldor was so embarrassed by the last Pyroblast that he doesn't even use it anymore in these fights. Has already realized that the talent choice was really not the best one. And it's like, well, maybe if I don't use it, nobody realizes that I actually picked it. I like his thinking. Well, there we go. Oh, where's the bunker when you need it? That's value! That's value! Yes! Gazlord was actually cut off from the rest here. Khaldor, look at that. This is actually the first Khaldor player in months that gets some value out of Pyroblast. Oh god, so he's the 1% apparently. Bezo on the other hand, a bit of an arachnophobe, is taken down by the spiders. Nazeebo is crushing everything here right now. 14 stacks on Khaldor. Yeah, our boy doesn't... He's the only one that only died once. Problem with this one death is that it came at a very unfortunate time. Why are they not going core? What are you doing? Why? No! I told you already, that's not how you do it! Nine! You go core, you have 4 heroes down. What is this shit? Are you trying to get more experience, level your heroes? That's not how it works in custom games, guys. Why are you going for keep? That's game right there. Oh, 4 down for more than 30 seconds, and they have Nazeebo, they have GazLOL, they have everything, and they are just going for keep. Alright. So they have level 20, they have 13 kills against 10, they have 2 keeps down, and they should still be able to win, but again, if you can win the game, you go for the core. You don't give your opponent another chance to come back into this. But let's see how this is going to work out now. And right now we have 10 against 13, as I said. We have Vile Infection for Nazeebo, of course. I guess he was pretty much begging the team in voice, don't end! Don't you dare end! I want my Vile Infection before we finish the game. Talking about finishing things. Look at Khaldor for a moment. 19 stacks? Yeah, he could actually make that happen. Khaldor might be able to make that happen after all. One more connect and he's done with it. Unless there's another Nazeebo flank, of course. Yeah, close. He got it! He got it! He dodged out of the stun. Time to feed, baby. At this point, he got everything that he needed. He's like, boys, I'm done. I got my quest. Whatever now happens, it's a bonus. I'm done with it. Convection is completed. Good on you, my friend. But yeah, now it comes to the final showdown, I'd say. Level 10 should be ready for the blue team too for the next fight. Sonya's trying to take care of that, and well, here it is. Already, the summer anthem. It's a little bit too early for that, but still. Flamethrowers in, and let's go. Guys, you have to go for this. You are aware of that, right? If they take it, it's over. Blue team apparently didn't get the memo yet. I mean, maybe they don't have email and still wait for their hand-signed letter, but whatever it is, it's finally time for them to engage into the fight, and I think they do. There's the setup against Nazeebo. Could have moshed that, by the way. Didn't, though. But Sulfuras was, of course, still available. Yes! And they get the ice block! Moshpit denies the ice block. The pyroblast hits, doesn't kill him, and then he ice blocks afterwards. And then we have the massive setup right here. It's absolute carnage in the middle. 2 kills against 1. The blue team has an advantage for just a bit. They're still trying to win it, but it's 4 stacks that are missing for Lamb Special. I think they might be able to just get those few. And indeed they do. What a setup. The Pyroblast doing absolutely not enough to get the kill. Nazeebo ice blocks it anyways afterward, just as an intentional taunt, of course. But what a setup here. Shadow Surge is on the run. Karimdel is going to come up to help him out here. Catapults, by the way, have in the meantime started to move onto the core and need to be defended. The Punisher is also moving in. And the red team is all of a sudden...
Surprise, motherfucker.
Oh, poor Sonya. GazLOL with a big boy trap. Oh, and another GazLOL setup. Kelthos is down too. Guys, this is a 1-1. The Nazeebo, GazLOL, and Ragnaros combo actually wins this game. It is unfucking-believable. Yeah, it seems like Lucio's getting away from this one, but what a game. What a second game. Holy shit. We are headed into game number 3 of the series, ladies and gentlemen. Let's jump in. GG and well played. Game number 3, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, it is becoming a little bit trolly. On the left side, Lebo with Johanna. Daomega on Atanis. Mistake! Yeah, that was already the first mistake. Shadow Surge on Vala. Bezo on Orphea. And Karimdel on Uther. On the right side of the map, we have Lamb Special with Marcus Flint on Rhaegar, Chef Remiel on Suljin, alright, the troll is in the game, Crystal Chrome on Liming, Glidanieth on Stitches, and yeah, Omega Kim on Nazeebo. Nazeebo for the second time, alright, the Witch Doctor is back in the house. Alright, let's see what our boy can do. Suljin is always a little bit oh, actually, different build for him. Going into Pandemic this time, the Toad build. Usually more so used to actually push. Yeah, that's an interesting touch. So a bit of a difference in build for him now. Oh my god, Atanis also going for a bit of a damage setup. I mean, Atanis already is a bit of a big draft fail if you go into the hero. If you're forced into him, then my condolences. And if you pick him because you think he's a good option, you need to see a doctor. But with that said, we have Suljin also in the game, and Suljin isn't really the best auto attacker. He's fantastic if you're playing brawls, for example, but getting good stacks on the baseline and completing your headhunter on level 1 if you go down that path is always a little bit tricky. He's actually solo laning right now. So in this case, they're playing again this triple backline damage stuff, and that didn't work out in game number 1 for them, and I highly doubt that's going... Like, honestly, this is a little bit Nord gegen Elend, what we're currently watching here. On the one hand, we have a triple backline, which is always a really, really bad idea. Again, if you are a new amateur team and you're thinking, how do we draft? Never do triple backline. You do yourself a favor in the long run, believe me. Draft a second melee onto the off lane and play around with that. Triple backline is incredibly outdated. it's like for the last 4 years as Heroes of the Storm, it has been proven to be just way, way, way inferior. Then on the other hand, though, we have Atanas, and I think my opinion on Atanas is very well known. The hero is just absolute garbage compared to other heroes on the on that position. Oh, and there we go.
First blood.
Down she goes. Vala eliminated. That was a little bit of an ambitious pathing that she just chose there. But yeah, there's obviously the people that immediately come in. But Khaldor, what about if I get the best swap in the universe and it leads to a kill? It's like, yeah, obviously Atanas can lead to some good situations for you. I mean, it is a 5th hero on the map, so it's better than playing with 4. I grant you that. But if you compare him to the other heroes that you could have picked instead of him, Blaze, Thrall, Leo, Malthael, then he just falls completely short there. So yeah, with that said, let's see what happens, because again, both sides have a couple of really wonky things in the draft, but execution obviously matters, and in Division 7 we know anything can happen. So we're gonna go straight for it. Shadow Surge doesn't go for the dings, and I have to appreciate that. It is Division 7 after all. He goes into a proper Vala build, so we have already our first setup here. I'm a bit worried about Li Ming, Triumvirate on level 4. That in and of itself is not really a bad choice. We've seen that a lot more since Dominance was nerfed by Blizzard. But there's obviously always the issue what happens at level 7. Then again, we are also seeing camps taken. And interestingly enough, after the initial camp, nobody actually went to the top camp to try and go for the healing beacon. So that's a little bit of a weird one. Down to the bottom of the map though, I'm still trying to push it out a little bit. 6 stacks by now on Suljin, which is actually not really that horrible considering. The problem of course is also that, for Atanas at least, is that he's going up against a range character. That's one of the reasons why Suljin is able to get stacks in the first place. In this case taking a little bit of a beating, but already sitting at 7, and if he gets to 15 then he will have half of the quest reward, aka he's going to look... Oh, that was a good swap. And a good kill too! Nicely done! Yeah, but that's... Once he has 15, he's gonna get the range increase. We're talking Suljin now, of course, again. But here, again, the Omega swaps himself into the tower range. Smart move. Nobody saw that coming. Very, like, a very surprising move. The red team had no idea that was coming. Always expect the unexpected right there. But yeah, there's Calamity. Alright, I'm relieved. Red team, definitely having hopes for them now. So with this, another big attack over here. Quests continuing with level 7 on both sides. We are actually getting ready for this. Here's also the camps again, and only the blue team is currently going for it, so they will have an advantage over their opponent in items. I like that. And they're also pushing out the top lane. The red team, on the other hand, is just trying to push through the middle, but they should not be attacked any second from flanked from the bottom. I don't even know why Atanas is wasting so much time there. They have to make a move now. There's 99% already on the board for the blue team, so all they have to do is go in with their items now and start to drop that. They have 1 additional turret over the opponent, drop the 2 turrets, go in, they're looking for the swap, they can't find it. Here comes Johanna, they're starting with it. Great setup against Stitches, though. He actually gets trapped by his own Azebo and goes down. Double turret against single turret, 1 turret already down, and that should be Protector in the hands of the blue team. Yeah, looking strong here. They can go straight in, another stun, and the Witch Doctor is down. Uther dropping the hammer, quite literally. And that's also the end of Suljin. 3 kills in total. They move in, they take the Protector. Now we should see a rotation towards the top after the wall gets taken down to eliminate the top lane wall and fountain. And they're crushing it here. Actually doing for a really, really nice move. One of the good things of picking Atanas on this map is that you actually don't have to, if you win the Protector, you don't have Atanas on the map for the entire duration because he can actually drive the Protector. So as a Protector driver, he doesn't suck as much, so yeah. Okay. Pretty bad joke. I absolutely agree. That one wasn't good. But again, I'm trying to find new ways to convey how shit Atanas is. At least if you're interested in winning. Okay. You don't win games because of Atanas, you win games despite Atanas. Either way, bad jokes aside, and also bad Khaldor puns, we have the entire top setup already taken. There is a quick stun, a quick hook, and a quick kill as Atanas does what he does best. He's being used as cannon fodder. Alright. That's a good thing about Atanas. While he's getting attacked, other heroes can do their job. 4 kills against 2. There's level 10 nearly around the corner now for them, so that's already great. Artanis with a follow-through here. Honestly, that talent on Artanis just makes me want to rage. I already have a problem when it's getting taken on Thrall, and you might have heard me talk about it. Even on Thrall, with the Ancestral Wrath being an option on level 7, it's a bad choice, especially if you're not even going into Echo of Elements on level 1. But you honestly have to have the mechanics of either Ridge or Snitch in order to get enough out of follow-through compared to the alternatives in order to make a difference here. But then you have Artanis, who's even worse in this setup and does even get less out of abilities, and picking follow-through on him. Yeah, that is a questionable choice to say the least. But they get the kill against Nazeebo without his help, and now maybe with him they can set a second kill up. It's not quite coming to that. But with 5 kills against 2, they're still fairly ahead here. So blue team doing currently well. But Suljin is starting to gain a little bit of momentum. He has 15 stacks now. That means a range increase, which makes it a bit easier and safer for him to attack. He has also on the Arcanite Axis 15 stacks. So that is going to continue stacking as the game progresses. And we have 2 stacks on his level 1. So that's a 4% damage increase. And if he gets everybody killed at least once, we're talking about even more range. Stitches is building into a super hit point heavy monster since he's trying to go through the globes here. With 23, he has roughly 700 extra HP now. Obviously that benefits Devour too. In case you weren't aware of that, Devour actually procs off your max HP, so the higher you get your hit point pool up through a level 1 talent like Hungry for More, the better for Devour. If you later on going on 13 into the cooldown reduction and on 20 maybe into the second helping, you just build yourself into a nearly unkillable tank. That hook, on the other hand, that just shows the utility of Stitches again. That was a fantastic setup for the kill against Rhaegar, and that gives Suljin another stack too. So now he's sitting at 6% additional damage. Our boy is definitely starting to get there. Blessed Shield set up very early already. Li Ming isn't here yet. This is a 4 versus 4 actually, and Nazeebo is the first victim. He's already down. Rhaegar jumps in for another bite, but here comes the attempt. Oh! The Ancestral has Dingo also with some value, and he's still getting stacks, he's still getting the kills. The only hero that hasn't died here on the blue team is Johanna. 19 stacks now for Suljin, and he's just hammering them in the ground. There's the Headhunter completed, and all of a sudden we're looking at a max range on his auto attacks, plus in addition to that also the 20 stacks on the baseline. Suljin is starting to hammer them into the ground. The blue team is losing some of the coordination that they so desperately need in these fights, and this is starting to become a bit of a disaster for them. They're about to lose the top fort for free. Stitches is taking position on the checkpoint to give them a protector as well. And as Nazeebo scales into the late game with now 94 stacks on his baseline, this is starting to become grim. Late game is the hugely advantageous territory of the red team. If the red team makes it into a let's say level 20 or 20 minutes into the game, they're going to be in an insane position. Suljin will have even more stacks, Nazeebo will be much stronger, Stitches will have a hit point pool that nearly makes him unkillable. And usually the argument, well, if we make it into the late game, we have a chance of winning, is a pretty dumb one. Because it just means that you hope your opponent is bad enough to let you get there. But in this case, it might pan out for them, because the blue team had a lead, but they just threw that one away. So now the blue team is in a really bad spot, and they need to redeem themselves quickly, and they're trying to do the exact thing here, but they can't quite get it started. The fight up at the top, that could make the whole difference. But Artanis again doesn't do too much. There's the lockdown against Johanna. Stitch is about to die though. Gets the Ancestral. The Devour saved him at first. Nice deny here. They kill against the front line. Both of them are already down. And Suljin is just hammering away with one auto attack after another 24 stacks for him now. If he gets another 6 together, then he will have the second cleave on the Arcanite axis. Already employing them against the Protector, well, the mech thingy in the middle here, going full Gundam here on us for the healing beacon. But yeah, it's getting a little bit scary in here. Suljin is sitting at 32,000 damage, and we have 25,000 on Artanis. Top damage. If Artanis has more damage than your Vala, then you know something is going incredibly wrong on that side. Yeah, so blue team is having issues. They're having huge coordination issues now. And one of the things, by the way, that they would need, and one of the things that Artanis, for example, doesn't supply, is stuns. If you have a Blaze in this setup, you can actually stun people. If you have Leo, you have damage reduction. Suljin apparently couldn't hit his R button in time. That would have saved him for now and might have even allowed Rhaegar to drop him an Ancestral. Granted, Ancestral on cooldown, so a normal heal would have had to suffice in that case. But as it stands, there we go. They're all starting to jump in with 24 stacks here still for Suljin, who's currently missing out on this one battle. Level 16 talents are ready though. And the rotation goes down to the bottom of the map. And again, you always want to rotate to the map where the next objective spawns, or the lane where the next objective spawns, so that you can take the fountain down, set yourself up for a better objective phase, which is exactly what they do. To an extent, at least. I mean, they don't take the fountain down yet, but the wall is at least eliminated. Problem is, as usual, that they're just having the protector all alone down at the bottom of the map. Stitches, by the way, is a little bit griefing when it comes to his stacking on the level 1 so far. Had a good start, but then he also started to fall off a little bit. Yeah, well, and Vala actually even decided... that is an interesting talent, by the way, for Vala now. Frost Shot is a great talent when you go into a multi-shot build. It's even a great talent if you don't go into a multi-shot build. It gives you control in a team fight, it gives you more range, you have better poke. But there's a huge problem with this too. Because Manticore gives you percentage damage, and it is a fantastic talent if you're going up against hit point heavy tanks. Stitches right now is an absolute freaking monster. Like, that guy has an incredible hit point pool. I mean, look at it. It's already at 6,800 HP. If you compare that to Atanis, Atanis is sitting at 4,600. Johanna is sitting at 4,900. So that's more than a 2,000 HP advantage that Stitches currently has over everybody else. If you go Manticore here on level 16, you have a much better chance. And once that you have level 20 with the Farfly Kribba, that's even more so true. Nice kill against Rhaegar, at least. So the blue team is fighting back. They're 5-manning this right now in order to find these kills, but they actually start to find them. And they're not out of this yet. If you haven't paid attention, they are actually ahead in kills. They have taken the kill lead. And now with the slow... Oh! He gets taken down. Nezebo is dead. Nicely done. Alright. There we go. Nezebo down. They get the top fort. Another slow through Vala. But the teleport is in. And Suljin at the bottom of the map, he's just going straight in for the shots to take down another fort. Took the fountain down, that's important for the next objective. Takes down the fort itself, and the team at the top doesn't really care too much about it. So at this point, it's an even exchange in forts that we see between the two teams. Suljin is moving away before the rest of them is moving in. Should be a little bit careful which route he takes, though. That's a bit of an aggressive pathing, to be absolutely honest, but they are currently at the healing camp anyways. Trying to... Oh my god, what the fuck? Blind took by Stitches, and he actually connects it. Was probably himself quite surprised by that. The hook out of nowhere. And here we go. Nezebo sitting at 120 stacks. Stitches again needs to be careful. I mean, I say he needs to be careful. He has 3,600 hit points. That's as much as Johanna has on full HP, or pretty much. Not quite, but it's close. And here's the quest completed. Double swing now. That Suljin is starting to get some serious damage on the attacks. And another big hook! Karimdel goes down. That's the kill right there. The toads for Nezebo make it easy for him to continue stacking. Yeah, Suljin is already moving in. I mean, that bad boy is just starting to stack it. Stack it to rack it, baby. And, well, talking about stacks, we have, yeah, Atanis at the top on 39. So one more, and he has his own quest completed and has the activatable to use. 1 level advantage now for Ashley's Lamb Special. There's the completion. Suljin is still staying tight. They should start to 5-man this a little bit more too. You want to actually delay until you have level 20. But if I was them, I would not try and force fights right now. There is no real reason. Long distance hooks, no problem. If you get an isolation kill, nothing, yeah, no problem with that. That's totally fine. But outside of that, wait for 20. Go with more items, wait for 20, let your opponent take maybe an early lead on the bottom objective. That's absolutely no issue. They, by the way, still have the fort. They also still have the fountain, so they're looking really solid here. But yeah, Nezebo is also sitting by now at 142, so Val Infection is soon going to be active for him. This is going to be dangerous. The Armani Resilience now. Nezebo, take the safe path if you want to win this, and he does. Alright, so they're going for it. Stitch's hit point pool at 7,800. He's on 38 stacks. Nazeebo is looking quite solid here too. And with level 20, they're going to grab that. And you can tell that the blue team is pretty much saying, like, guys, we don't know how to react to this right now. They seem to be just trying to take down the fort in the middle. That's a bit of a freebie. Get level 20 for themselves for the defense, because the chances of them actually grabbing the objective are pretty slim right now. Nazeebo moves out onto the lane to get a few more stacks together. He's short. I mean, he's 24 shy of completing that whole thing. They could, in theory, even try to push for the keep to make sure that the red team has to move back and help with them, but yeah. Okay. And that's yeah. And now we have them pushing the bot lane. This could, in theory, actually evolve into a base race. In theory, this is going to be a base race. The question is, do you really want a base race against triple backline with Suljin and also him? I do not really think so, and they kind of agree. So they all half stone back. The Protectors by now taken. It's 20 versus 20 though. And here comes the Farfly Quiver. And again, with Manticore at this point, Stitches would have a problem. But yeah, he doesn't really so much. But again, the fight control through Frost Shot is nothing to sneeze on either. It's a great talent regardless. You have to be a little bit more careful around Stitches, but still, it's a fantastic tool to have in your arsenal one way or another. So yeah, they're going for it, and they're still trying to get also the stacks together for Nazeebo. That's obviously a big one. That keep is going to be down within seconds. And here comes the attempt to maybe push this farther and try to take either a second keep or the core. In comes the blind, and Suljin is dead immediately. Nazeebo, that is. I don't know what's with me and names today. It's actually uncanny. Here comes the quick hit against Rega, and he's down too. Why the fuck would you put Suljin into the mech anyways? I mean, that seems to be a little bit weird. It's a bit of a weird setup. Stitches and Suljin in there. Honestly, I would have rather... I don't even know where I'll put him in. But they at least get the kill against Artanis. They might get another one. Oh! Run, Vala, run! Oh, Li Ming! Li Ming! No! No, you have to teleport first! Oh, okay, so, yeah. That cost them one keep, but they're still in play, so the game isn't over yet. There's still a chance for the team to make it happen here. Still going for the fountain here, a little bit more damage. Top side of here is still sitting tight. Stitches is now at an additional 1,200 hit points, thanks to the 40 stacks that he has. And Suljin has actually started to... I mean, he slowed down in stacks significantly. There weren't really as many team fights anymore, and he didn't get as many opportunities. Ophia actually gets away, just as Nazeebo checks the bush to see if he maybe can still catch her. They were double checking at top 2, but she Hearthstone successful away. Was maybe a little bit greedy with the positioning in the first place, but made it happen. And Nazeebo is obviously looking for waves. He needs to stack, and he was so far on the run, but he just needs another 2 waves, and he is good to go. So we'll see what they can do with that. Right now, there's just like hooks coming in from everywhere. Blind hooks, trying to see if they can maybe get a lucky punch in somewhere. Yeah, Nazeebo goes in. Team should actually let him do his thing here instead. Like, they literally just steal some of those minions away. Another setup. They're trying to go for the hook, and they can't get it. I love how Artanis, by the way, doesn't even flinch. I mean, I'm not quite sure. The swap. Why do you swap? Because I can. Where's the Ancestral when you need it? Where's the help for Stitches? Like, what the hell? He doesn't even Ancestral him. Stitches actually goes down. Stitches is eliminated, but the blue team is also losing heroes. Uther and Orphea both are eliminated. Uther, of course, going to come back with the redemption any second. Yep, Artanis is dead again. 4 deaths. Top deaths on the blue team. Who would have thought? Totally didn't see that one coming. Yeah, but it's a little bit surprising also to see that we actually have the regenerative bile taken by Stitches. I really think that him going into the second helping would have done a lot more given his build, or simply into his shield. Both would have been great here. But just look how Nazeebo is absolutely starting to crush these structures. Now that the Vile Infection is completed, his damage output is boosted even more, and they didn't even stop there for a second. So yeah, they took the keep down. Li Ming has in the meantime defended the top lane, and that was desperately needed since some of the catapults were already starting to take the hit points on the keep itself down. But they're looking pretty solid here. I mean, seriously, guys, it's 13 kills against 12 in game number 3. Doesn't get any closer than that. 21 minutes into the game. And yeah, here we go. Just give you a few more stacks on the numbers. I have to repeat myself. When your Artanis is the top damage on the team, your range damage dealers are doing something seriously wrong. Like, seriously wrong. But yeah, a Vala with only 40,000 damage in this game is a little bit strange. With the multi-shot build in particular, you have just so much poke potential here. But either way, if they can force a few fights over those objectives, that might make the difference here. But yeah, let's see. Artanis, so far he's excelled at dying and at getting the top numbers for his team. But again, not really his job. That's one of the main problems. It's seriously just not the job of the offlaner to just be one of the main damage dealers. If that is in addition to his utility, that's fantastic, but if it's the only thing that it offers, then really not so much. They need more stuns. They don't have enough control. They have Uther, they have Johanna, and another hero at the front line that has a little bit more control over this would be great for them. At this point, talking control, we have the Rain of Vengeance coming down to control Stitches a little bit more. Artanis again getting wrecked within seconds. He came, he saw, and he died. Veni Vidi GG. Okay, so with him already out of the picture, it seems like the red team is pretty much set on pushing. If they had pushed for core here, I would have like called them insane. Earlier we didn't have them go for the core at all when they had like 3 or 4 heroes eliminated. Now they kill a single hero and they're saying like YOLO! Now all they have to do is just wait for the protector and then they're good to go here. Okay. With this we now have another quick attack over here, another item. There's not really too much more to say about that, but once that they have this one, they can actually make their play now. Gets 1 or 2 of the damage dealers in and play it out of that one. So, yeah. He cannot go into the protector. Like, he needs to stay out. If he gets onto the core, the game's over. And honestly, I would put Li Ming in. You have this guy that has Tazdingo. I don't know why he goes in. Li Ming is fantastic for snowballs, don't get me wrong. Yes, resets on Li Ming and getting her damage out is fantastic. But he has literally just Tazdingo. If they at any point get on the core with him, he can just activate his ult and pretty much barrel through the shield. With the help of Nazeebo, they have that thing down in no time. So at this point, both of them go in. They leave Stitches out of it to help with the second tank. And that kind of helps. But let's see. Yeah. Yeah, and he's dead again. So, yeah, Artanis is doing Artanis things. Artanis is dead again, and well, guys, if with 2 of them down, with Ophia also dying, this one is pretty much over, and we all know that it is. I mean, yeah, that is game. There's no question that they are going to finish this right now, and well-deserved as well. Lamb special, they win it with Ragnaros, Nazeebo, and Gazlord on Infernal Shrines, and now on Volskaya Foundry. They're absolutely crushing with the Witch Doctor again, even using Suljin for the win. Congratulations, great play. A lot of applause for the team in red. Well-deserved victory. GG and well played.